As Jim Hanifin made his pregame rounds last week, he was mindful that his Cardinals have been suffering from a puzzling personality disorder bordering on schizophrenia. At times, the Cards have looked like genuine world beaters, but lately they've looked genuinely world weary. This inconsistent team was in need of something to restore their equilibrium. And the Buffalo Bills proved to be just what the doctor ordered. A healthy dose of opportunistic defense was supplied by number 37 Ken Green, who intercepted 3 passes and recovered a fumble. The Cardinals were also cured with plenty of juice. Anderson powered St. Louis to a 24-0 upset victory, the Cardinals' first shutout in 4 years. And with his 177 rushing yards, Anderson became the Cardinals' all-time leading ground gainer. Such heroics are worthy of theatrics, but O.J. showed remarkable self-restraint. While the Cardinals seem likely to continue on their roller coaster ride, the Washington Redskins are now on an even keel after spending the season's first 5 weeks dancing in the dark. In embarking on this new course, the Skins have had to bite and scratch, and last week was no exception. Against the Giants, Joe Theismann's scoring passes twice brought the Redskins from behind, and their 24-20 lead appeared secure when they unleashed a ferocious pass rush upon Phil Simms with 2 minutes left in the game. Simms suffered a shoulder separation that put an end to his 1981 season, but backup Scott Brunner stepped in and took control in storybook fashion. A 27-yard pass to rookie John Missler, number 85, gave New York a 27-24 lead with 45 seconds remaining. But in this storybook, it was the Redskins who supplied the dramatic finish, as Mark Mosley kicked a 49-yard field goal with no time showing on the clock. Then in overtime, Mosley's 48-yarder gave Washington a 30-27 win and a 4th consecutive victory. Much alive in the chase for a wild card berth. Another NFC team with playoff hopes resides in the Old South, where folks try not to get all hot and bothered. Why get riled up when you can relax and have a good cigar? That Dixie heritage usually calls for a mint julep, too, but sipping on a Gatorade suits Coach Lehman Bennett just fine. Bennett's Falcons embody another fine Atlanta tradition, throwing the football. In the person of Steve Bartkowski, that tradition thrived against Pittsburgh. But Atlanta was soon overshadowed by a newly fortified steel curtain, here embodied by Tom Beasley, number 65. Beasley's tenacity turned a trio of Falcon blockers into helpless observers, and while he didn't sack Bartkowski, you might say he fattened him for the kill. For Pittsburgh, raw power usually works better than finesse, as Franco Harris proved when he tried an impromptu behind-the-back dribble. The Steelers wisely downplayed their running attack in favor of their own fine passing tradition. The result was 5 touchdown passes from Terry Bradshaw, the highest single-game total of his 13-year career. Bradshaw single-handedly engineered the Steelers' quest to end a 2-game losing streak. Bartkowski countered with over 400 yards passing for 2 scores, including number 84 Alfred Jenkins' 12th touchdown reception of the season. Ultimately, however, the battle of the big arms belonged to Bradshaw. A 22-yard pass to number 88 Lynn Swann sent Atlanta to a 34-20 defeat, the 3rd in their last 4 games. Now 5-6, the once highly touted Falcons were unable to enjoy the sweet taste of a good cigar. Instead, they tasted the bitterness of defeat. In Kansas City, the first winning season since 1973 has raised fan expectations to lofty heights. But last Sunday, the Houston Oilers were prepared to burst that balloon. A 50-yard touchdown to double-zero Ken Burrow put the Oilers on the board quickly. However, this single strike could not offset the Chiefs' running game, featuring rookie Joe Delaney, number 37. At just 185 pounds, Delaney has become the workhorse of the Chief backfield and has emerged as the AFC's second leading rusher. Against Houston, Delaney proved his durability as he carried the ball 29 times for 193 yards and 1 touchdown, the finest performance of any NFL back this season. But more importantly, Delaney helped to lead Kansas City to a 23-10 win and keep the Chiefs just 1 game behind Denver in the quest to capture the AFC West flag. Flag waving has been seen in other NFL cities, but in Green Bay, those flags have been white bed sheets lately. After a poor start, the Packers had seemingly unfurled the surrender flag. But with the help of number 25, Harlan Huckleby, the Pack has slowly made the move back. Huckleby's score was the longest of 3 David Whitehurst touchdown passes as Green Bay beat the Chicago Bears 21-17. The win marked the 3rd Packer win in a row and promoted them to a 2nd-place tie in the NFC Central. But while light has recently shone on Green Bay, a storm has settled over New England. With just 2 Patriot wins this season, 16,000 paying fans refused to brave the elements and witness the New York Jet front 4 prove that when it rains, it pours. The league's best front line against the pass deluged the Patriots with 8 sacks, including 4 by number 99, Mark Gastineau. Gastineau's fiery spirit helped to inspire the play of the Jet offensive line, as center Joe Fields, number 60, and trapping guard Stan Waldmore, number 70, paved wide glide paths for Jet running backs. Number 44, Tom Newton's score marked one of 2 New York rushing touchdowns as the Jets went on to win 17-6. And with just 1 loss in their last 8 games, New York stands as the AFC's hottest ball club. For the Dallas Cowboys, being hot has never mattered. Touchdown cool has. Number 88, Drew Pearson caught 2 touchdowns to pace the Cowboys to a seemingly comfortable 17-0 lead over Detroit. But an Eric Hipple to number 86, Mark Nichols touchdown helped the Lions roar back to tie the game 17-all. The deadlock remained until late in the 4th quarter when poised Danny White found number 87 Jay Saldy open for 6 points. In need of a clutch catch, Dallas called upon Saldy as a sure-handed receiver. When the Lions earlier needed the big reception, they sought after their sure-handed superstar Billy Sims, number 20. An uncharacteristic drop pass made Sims a target for Cowboy bantering. But following the Dallas touchdown, Sims more than adequately made up for his mistake. Sims' 81-yard touchdown with 2 minutes left tied the game at 24-all. Detroit later regained possession of the ball and with no timeouts remaining, rushed to get into field goal position. In setting up for a 47-yard attempt, Detroit placed 7 men on the interior line, but in the panic of the game's closing seconds, left 3 wingmen, plus the kicker and the holder, to account for an illegal 12-man alignment. Nonetheless, Eddie Murray's field goal was considered good by the officials, and the Lions were given the 27-24 victory, a win which the Lions took most humbly. For the second consecutive week, Dan Pastorini emerged from the shadows of backup quarterback to start for the Rams. Unfortunately, against the Bengals, Pastorini and the offense played like blind men in a dark room. The young, aggressive Cincinnati defense was all over Pastorini, sacking the Rams signal caller 5 times. The Bengal defense also recorded 3 interceptions, including 2 by cornerback Lewis Breeden, number 34. Breeden's interception set up the first of 3 touchdowns by fullback Pete Johnson as Cincinnati defeated the Rams 24-10 to maintain a 2-game advantage in the AFC Central Division. In San Francisco, 49er fans are enjoying first place in the NFC West. And last week they did not let a little inclement weather dampen their spirits, as they found the parking lot a perfect place to cut the rug prior to game time. However, inside the stadium, the players found the dance floor a little too slick. Against Cleveland, the 49er offense appeared to have 2 left feet. Fortunately, the defense kicked up its heels and held the Browns to only 5 points after 3 quarters. But in the final period, trailing 12-5, it was the Cleveland defense who cut in for the last dance. Number 52, Dick Ambrose's interception ended the 49ers scoring drive and provided the Browns with a much-needed big play. Quarterback Brian Sipe capitalized on the change of momentum, tying the score with a touchdown pass to Reggie Rucker, number 33. Minutes later, Sipe found Rucker again, setting up Cleveland's game-winning field goal attempt. With only 46 seconds remaining, Matt Barr's 24-yard field goal gave the Browns a 15-12 victory, ending San Francisco's 7-game winning streak. Ironically, when the 49ers started their winning streak, Barr was their field goal kicker. In Philadelphia, the Eagles faced the Colts, who possessed a 9-game losing streak, and coach Dick Vermeil showed concern about his team being flat against struggling Baltimore. The Baltimore defense was ranked last in the AFC, but in the first quarter, that fact seemed to have slipped the Colts' mind. After 15 minutes of play, the Colts trailed by only a single point, 7-6. However, their jubilation was a little premature, as the Eagles would soon remind the Baltimore defense of its rightful place. Quarterback Ron Jaworski completed 19 of 29 passes for nearly 300 yards and 2 scores, including this touchdown to number 85, Charlie Smith. After securing a comfortable 31-6 lead, Jaworski stepped aside for Joe Pisarcik. Pisarcik, number 9, responded with a touchdown pass to number 89, Wally Henry. The 38-13 win over the Colts boosted Philadelphia's record to 9-2, the best in the NFL. But for Eagle fans, it was the second yawner in a row, and many are quickly discovering the most exciting thing about a Sunday at the Vet is fighting the traffic on the way home. Western folklore has it that good guys always wear white hats, but St. Coach Bum Phillips would gladly trade in his 10-gallon topper for just a few of the guys who wear the purple helmets for Bud Grant's Minnesota Vikings. Players such as quarterback Tommy Kramer, who is having an all-pro season, and number 81 Joe Sensor, who leads all NFL tight ends in receptions. Minnesota's pass rush may lack the big-name notoriety of yesteryear, but like anonymous purple waves, they roll over most everything in their path. Week after week, Bud Grant's club plays flawless, fundamental football. Last week, they buried the New Orleans Saints 20-10. It was a typical Viking victory, a routine, methodical drubbing. But oh, how those Saints would love to be so boring. Down in sunny Florida, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers needed to win to keep pace with the Vikings in the Central Division. But the Bucs had the misfortune of facing the Denver Broncos, those humble, mild-mannered leaders of the AFC West. So dominating was the Bronco defense that Tampa Bay failed to score an offensive touchdown. Denver quarterback Craig Morton, meanwhile, fired a first-period bullet to give the Broncos an early 7-point lead. Morton hit 10 of his first 14 passes and seemed well on his way to maintaining his NFL passing lead. But late in period 2, with Denver leading by 7, Morton emerged from beneath a pile-up with a badly sprained shoulder. Suddenly, the whole complexion of the game, and possibly Denver's season, changed dramatically. Backup quarterback Steve DeBerg did little to reverse Denver's fortunes. This third-quarter interception return by Cedric Brown evened the score at 7 apiece. But the Bucs' inability to move on offense allowed Denver to control the ball most of the second half. And eventually, DeBerg guided the Broncos into the end zone. Larry Canada scored both of Denver's second-half touchdowns as the Broncos rallied to win 24-7. Ordinarily, a win on the road over a tough defensive team like Tampa Bay would be cause for celebration. But last Sunday, Denver's joy was tempered by the sobering reality of injury and the distinct possibility that Craig Morton may not be at full strength. The Oakland Raiders seem to have solved their quarterback problem. The solution, second-year passer Mark Wilson, who last week got the starting assignment once again for the defending world champions. And once again, he performed well. Against Miami in the Orange Bowl, Wilson showed veteran poise and a polished touch in laying waste to the Dolphins. Young, strong-armed quarterbacks aren't supposed to be so cool under pressure. Wilson doesn't seem to know that. Last week, Wilson threw 3 first-half touchdown passes as Oakland built a surprising 21-3 first-half lead. Even more surprising was the way the Raiders protected that lead, the net result of which was a safety on reserve Dolphin quarterback Don Strock. The Dolphins got untangled in time to stage a late rally, the high point being this fourth quarter pass from Strock to Tony Nathan. But the big plays and the day belonged to the Raiders. Miami's second half comeback bid was negated when number 38, Chester Willis, circled right end for 15 yards and the game-clinching touchdown. Oakland's 33 points were the most scored on Don Shula's Dolphins in the Orange Bowl since 1975, and their 33-17 win was their third in 5 weeks under young Mark Wilson. Don't count these Raiders out just yet. There's still a lot of pride left in the silver and black.